there, I'm Heather, a Showit web designer and brand photographer, and really I'm just a girl Googling my way through how to run a business. This is one of those processes that I've actually done for 6 years. It's my end of year roundup blog post, but it serves so many purposes for my business. It's how I prep images for my website, it's how I market and network with other vendors, and it's a one-day intensive that sets my business up for success, so I always have content to post throughout the year. Okay, so I'm gonna go through this process from the standpoint of a wedding photographer because that is the blog roundup post that I like to do each year, but this could work for any type of business. So if you are an interior designer or a stationery designer, maybe you design jewelry, whatever it is, the creative service or clients that you want to highlight throughout the year, this is the perfect way to show off your work and to batch a ton of content. Okay, so I start off by going through every single project gallery. Again, mine are in image form. Yours could be graphic design samples. They could be photos of your clients' homes, whatever it is. I like to select 10 to 15 images from each one of my projects. And I like to find something unique about them. So I do this as a superlative roundup end of year blog post. And it's really fun for me to highlight ways that these clients are unique, shout out some of the vendors. And for this one in particular, they had their first look in a flower field. So I'm gonna pull a lot of these wildflower images. This could look like for you showing off floral arrangements from the ceremony or signature cocktails or a really fun special dance that your couple did. Whatever it is that makes that project unique, those are definitely the images you're gonna wanna pull. So the next thing you're gonna do once you have all of those images selected, and I like to go through all of the galleries and batch as much of this as I can so that I'm not jumping around between programs. The next step is probably one of the most tedious, and it's resizing and renaming your images. So I use a program called Blogstomp, which makes this very seamless. I always recommend for blogging or website use, normally you don't want anything larger than 2000 pixels wide, which would stretch to be the full screen. And typically you want each image to be under a megabyte. So there's tons of also free online tools that will batch resize your images for you, but I'll kind of walk you through the steps that I do. So I am in Blogstomp here. I'm pulling over those recently downloaded images. And in the settings tab, I actually can go through and decide on the file names. This is also one of the most important tools that you can do for SEO. I love to rename mine in a way that is going to tag them with the location, the venue name, add my name as a photo credit. And this is how Google will index and make sure that your images are showing up to clients that are searching in your area. So another step that I like to do is make sure that the image width is not any bigger than 2000 pixels wide. If you're arranging them in a collage, you can do things like add a border, but for now I'm just going to batch resize them. So I'll hit OK. And then this one actually has a batch tool up here at the top. So all I need to do is click on an image and hit enter, and it's going to resize all of the images at once. And from there, I'm gonna actually start blogging. So the blog post is actually just a great excuse for me to get this workflow done and have a way to share it with my clients. The other key step here is that I wanna make sure that I'm tagging vendors and finding all of the vendor credits that I can use throughout social media and on the website for the next year. I do this in a few different ways throughout the year that actually make my life a little bit easier. So I always send a questionnaire to my couples about a month before their wedding. This is how I'm collecting the final details I need to make their wedding day run smoothly, but I'm also collecting those vendor details so that I have emails, social media. I just start a notes tab in my phone so that I have everything in one place anytime I'm going to post. And that is dramatically increasing the referrals that I get, the ability to have my images shared with a larger audience. One of the final steps of this process is actually to blog my roundup post, sharing those superlatives and highlighting my clients throughout the year. So I like to have the text already prepped just because I think that process goes a little bit faster. So I'll copy and paste in the text that I have written for each couple, highlighting some of the vendors and what makes that wedding day unique. For example, this couple had their dog be an adorable addition to their first look. So these are images that are already sized properly. They have keywords embedded into the file names and makes it really easy to share on my website, throughout social media. Anytime that I am ready to post content, I have it ready to go. So now it's time to share the images onto my website and get that process updated. So all I do is go into the media library and I'll just create a new folder. I'll just drag and drop all of those images that I've already resized. So I hope this was helpful for you. I know it's a bit of a deep dive, intensive process, and of course you should be sharing new work throughout the year as well, but this makes it so you have a full database of images, fun stories, tidbits that you can share on social media, updates you can make to your website. I know running a business is a lot, so having some of this back-end marketing work done up front is such a win for the year. So hope this was helpful. I'll see y'all in the next video.